stared at something that should have taken only 5 minutes, and somehow it felt impossible? Not because you didn't know what to do, not because you didn't care, but because somewhere inside, everything just felt heavy. Sometimes after you've carried emotional pain for so long, even ordinary responsibilities can begin to feel overwhelming. Today's story is about Ava and a fear she never expected to have. Not the fear of failure, not even the fear of success, but the fear of carrying more than she believed she could survive. If you've ever felt that way, I hope you'll stay with me. And before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever gone through a season where even simple responsibilities felt overwhelming? If you're comfortable sharing, let us know in the comments. Someone reading your story may realize they're not alone. It had been several months since Ava walked away from the relationship that had consumed so much of her life. The hardest part was over, or at least, that's what she thought. She imagined she'd wake up one morning feeling lighter, motivated, excited, ready to rebuild. Instead, she felt exhausted, not physically, emotionally. Some mornings, she would open her laptop, look at the list of things she needed to do, and quietly close it again. Not because she was lazy, because her mind felt full before the day had even begun. One morning, she opened a job application. She had the qualifications, she had the experience, she knew exactly how to answer every question. She filled out almost everything until she reached the very last button, submit. Her finger hovered over the mouse. She stared at it for what felt like forever. Then, she closed the laptop. She leaned back in her chair, closed her eyes, and whispered, "Why can't I do this?" The truth was, she wasn't afraid of the job. She wasn't afraid of working. She was afraid of responsibility. Not because responsibility itself was bad, but because somewhere deep inside, responsibility had become connected to exhaustion. For years, every responsibility seemed to come with another burden, another sacrifice, another crisis, another person needing something. Without realizing it, her mind had quietly learned something. More responsibility meant more pain. Even her phone made her nervous. Whenever it rang, her shoulders tightened, her heart raced, not because she didn't love the people calling, but because somewhere inside, she expected every call to become another obligation, another emergency, another request. She missed the version of herself who used to answer the phone with excitement. Now, she found herself staring at the screen, hoping it would stop ringing. One afternoon, she looked around her apartment. There were only a few dishes in the sink, a basket of laundry, a notebook sitting on the table. Nothing unusual, nothing difficult, yet somehow, looking at all of it together, felt impossible. She sat quietly on the couch, and tears filled her eyes. That evening, she opened her Bible, not because she had all the answers, but because she needed peace. Her eyes landed on the words of Jesus, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." She read those words again and again. Then something gently settled in her heart. Jesus never criticized weary people. He invited them closer. For the first time, Ava stopped asking, "What's wrong with me?" Instead, she asked a different question. What if I'm recovering? What if this heaviness wasn't weakness? What if her heart and her mind were simply learning how to feel safe again? That thought changed everything. The next morning, she didn't make a list of 20 things. She chose one, just one. She answered one email. When she finished, she smiled, not because the email was important, but because she kept a promise to herself. The next day, she folded one basket of laundry. The day after that, she submitted one job application. Then she went for a short walk. Little by little, the things that once felt impossible began to feel manageable again. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because she stopped measuring success by how much she could carry and started measuring it one faithful step at a time. One evening, as the sun disappeared beyond her window, Ava realized something. She had spent so much time worrying about carrying tomorrow that she forgot. God had only asked her to carry today. Tomorrow would come when tomorrow arrived. Today, all she needed was today's grace. And somehow, for the first time in a long time, that felt enough. You know, sometimes we stay stuck because we're waiting to feel completely ready before we begin. We tell ourselves, when I have more energy, when I feel motivated, when I'm finally healed, then I'll move forward. But what if healing doesn't always happen before movement? What if movement becomes part of the healing, not overwhelming yourself, not taking on everything, just one healthy step, one healthy decision, repeated consistently? Think about planting a seed. The day you place it in the ground, nothing seems different. The next day, still nothing. Maybe even a week later, it looks exactly the same, but underneath the surface, roots are growing. That's how change often works. The small choices you make today may not seem important, but they're quietly creating the future you'll live tomorrow. One walk, one prayer, one job application, one healthy meal, one boundary, one chapter, one phone call. None of those things seem life-changing by themselves, but together, over weeks, months, and years, they become the person you're becoming. The future you're praying for is often built by the small choices you're making today. Don't underestimate them.